Hello, this is Jackie and welcome to another day in my life. This is the working from the office edition, which starts the same way as the working from home edition, with waking up, washing my face, and then having a couple of hours where I can do what I want before I head to the office. Because I've been a bit tired lately, I'm just spending this time reading. Then, once I'm dressed and fed, I walk to the office. It's about a 20-minute walk, and I try to do that every day, weather permitting, because come November, it's not going to be the friendliest environment in Estonia for a 20-minute walk. I usually arrive in the office between 8:45 and 9 a.m, and generally I'm the first person there, which I like because it gives me a chance to get settled before the day starts. Today is Wednesday, which is not a busy meeting day, and I have 3 meetings before lunch. The first one is on our crypto token and how we can improve the price. The second is on how we can better retain our customers. And the third is our daily marketing stand-up, which just goes through what's on this week, what's on today, and making sure that everyone's on track. For lunch today, I actually met up with a couple of friends from my old job. One of them is actually not doing too well, so she's trying to negotiate a redundancy, and we've sort of been on the phone over the last couple of days coaching her through how she can do it, and this morning she had the meeting with the big boss, so wanted to debrief with me. After lunch, I don't have any more meetings, so that's the perfect time for getting some productive work done. For me, that means marketing strategy, managing marketing projects, and doing some writing as well, so I still tend to do press releases and proofreading and emails and so on. I finish my working day around 6, which means it's time to pack up and walk home. I'm home, I'm tired, I'm going to have a bath, and then, depending on how I feel, I might either look into continuing with the Anatomy of Story, which I was doing yesterday, or I might do some Authortube stuff, or I might just watch some YouTube, so stay tuned.
Good morning. So when I was filming the other day, as soon as I got out of the bath, my husband had gotten home and we hung out together for the rest of the evening, so no more vlogging. And then I was going through the footage I had, and once everything was time-lapsed, it only ended up being like 4 minutes. So I thought, okay, why not make this 2 days in the life? So it is now Saturday the 12th of September, it's 9 a.m. and I'm heading to the gym because it's just opened. On the agenda today, the main thing I need to do is get started on a freelance project. So one of my clients from my old business contacted me 2 weeks ago, I think, and he's putting together like an online portal of courses that he wants to launch in October. And because I ghostwrote his book and I also ghostwrote like 8 different modules. I started it before I left Australia, so we're looking at 2 years ago now. Like he came to me to write this for him. So today I'm going to be doing a lot of research and trying to map out the skeleton of that, and hopefully I can get the skeleton so detailed that when it comes to write, I'm really just expanding the bullet points rather than having to continue to research and think about what needs to be there. So I'm hoping I can get the skeleton done today, and then maybe tomorrow I can get the first draft done, because one of the things is at the moment, as you know, I'm fairly new in my job. It's rewarding, but it's mentally taxing, and at the moment we've got, like as of next week, we've got 4 different people on my team who are on leave, so it's going to be pretty busy. So I know I can only work on this on the weekends, so if I could get a first draft done this weekend, that means I can let it sit for the week, and next week I can look through it. And yeah, hopefully there's not too much more to do then. Other than that, I need to edit some videos, so I need to start editing this one. I also did my second quarter of recommendations from Tailored Book Recommendations, so I want to edit that one and get it scheduled. And other than that, I'm not sure what the weather's going to do today. It's very grey now, so it might rain, but if it doesn't, I might take a break and go for a walk up to Teleskivi, because I am out of cacao, which is not a good position to be in. Other than that, my husband is going to go out to see Tenet a second time with his colleagues this weekend. We actually saw it together last weekend. So that means I can work without feeling too guilty for ignoring him.
as I mentioned earlier, after the gym, my main priority for today is to get started on this freelance project. So the way I usually approach nonfiction writing jobs is I map out a skeleton, usually off the top of my head, of how I think things could be organised. Then I'll start researching to fill in the gaps, and that will then feed into more structural nuances and more things to research, and so on and so forth, until I basically have a document with all of the information I want to discuss, and then I synthesize that into something new that reflects my client's knowledge and is original but also credible because it's based on the latest research. In this case, I have a bit of a head start. Because this client and I have worked together in the past, he is used to how I work. He knows I like to have this skeleton that I then fill in. So he's actually done a set of slides for me. So the way I'm starting is just copying across everything from the slides into a document so I can then build it out. And one of the things I noticed is that in the slides, he's referred back to some of the work we've done together in the past. So most of what I'm doing today is just getting all of the information for the things we've worked on in the past into one space, so then I can see what we have and what the gaps are that we need to fill out. After that, it's time for a little break watching Authortube, and then I'm going to start editing this video, which feels very meta. Now, if I was a truly dedicated freelance professional, I would go back to doing my work, or maybe I'd even try doing some work on my Nanowrimo ideas, but because I'm not, I'm going to play Assassin's Creed. You'll notice I'm not the most skilled player, and because I'm running through the town, I've drawn the attention of some bad guys who decide oh crap, I ran into some bad guys who want to fight me, so let's kill them. And you can see those little exclamation marks. That means other people have noticed me, which is not good. And I'm really not prepared to be fighting people right now. And they're quite high level, so I don't want them to kill me. So I'm going to run and run until those exclamation marks go away and they've forgotten I exist. And then I get stuck in a tree, which shows you my level of gaming prowess. Drew has now gone to his movie, so I'm going to attempt to finish the premise exercises in the Anatomy of Story. Now, I'm not sure how visible it is in the video, but I was reading this in my rest breaks in the gym, and I actually got up to the plot chapter, which is really interesting because you get to see all of the early pieces of the framework come together. So I'm actually really excited to get to that now, so I want to push through these early steps so I can start working on the plot. Now, obviously you can't skip ahead to the plot because the plot relies on having done all of the pre-work, but it is making me feel more enthusiastic about said pre-work. So I'm going to continue doing the remaining steps for my 3 ideas with some trusty YouTube on in the background. I have finished the premise work, or pretty much I've finished it. There are 10 steps in the process and I've done the first 8 of them for all 3 of the books. I didn't do step 10 because that's about assessing audience appeal, and I mentioned this in the main Anatomy of Story video, but given the stage that I'm at in my journey, I'm more focused on writing and learning to write than I am selling the books that I'm writing. So I'd rather just focus on getting an idea onto paper than getting tied up in whether or not an audience wants to read it. So I'm not worrying about step 10. Step 9 is the moral choice the character needs to make, and I'm struggling with that just because these books, it's very early stages, so I have no idea what moral choice they're going to have to make. But all in all, I feel like I've made some progress with the books that didn't have much information. They're getting to a stage where, if I don't have the answers yet, I am thinking about them in more depth. And for my fantasy hot mess, I have gotten confirmation that yes, it is a hot mess and I don't know how to fix it. But again, this is encouraging me to think about it in new ways. So hopefully if I keep doing this over the coming days and weeks, the answers will present themselves. So from here, I'm going to have some dinner. I was also thinking about seeing if any of the films John Truby talks about in Anatomy of Story are on Netflix, because he mentions a number of films that I haven't seen. It would be really interesting to watch the films that he considers to be good pieces of work and see if I can pick out the things that he talks about through the book. And maybe it'll help me as a storyteller. So, Netflix time.
J'étais sur une idée de start-up.
C'est Switch.
Solide.
Évidemment qu'il s'est planté avec son application.
Ouais, je vais finir bouché.
Mais j'ai eu un feeling qu'il fallait que j'aille vers quelque chose de plus fort.
Le cannabis va être légalisé.
Et c'est ça ton idée géniale? C'est de devenir dealer?
Une innovation qui allait changer des vies.
La boucherie Azan devient la bûcherie Azan.
Je te présente la pasta weed. C'est bien ça, pasta weed.
I am done, so I'm heading to bed. I hope you're having an awesome day. Let me know how you're doing in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye.